Liverpool versus everybody. Obviously, at this point, everybody is aware of the result in the Community Shield. Um, can I get this to work? There we go. Um, you know, first half I think was abysmal, and I know there's super fanboys, and Salah is our player, so I'm a fan, and I want to see him do well while he's on the pitch. But we got to have a serious conversation about Salah. A lot of you, are gonna just say, "Oh, it's one game." No, Salah was atrocious today. He just was. He was atrocious today, and I don't care what anybody else says about it. I think the best player on the pitch for especially the first half was Firmino. He was the only guy that really, really looked like he was trying to get at this team. You know what I mean? Tracking back, being physical, getting the ball off guys, trying to be intricate. And the few times that we had in the final third. So the first half was just really frustrating. I was sitting here watching the game. My brother Josh, who's gone now, he was livid as well. That game should have been won by Liverpool in the first half. Now, I say that, and I can also say City had their chances too. Sterling could have won the game by himself, but so could have Salah for Liverpool. So you could say we're kind of fortunate. You could say they're lucky. I mean, again, with these goal line clearances and balls that just cross the line, it's like I feel like there's some kind of witchcraft when we play against City, man, because this shit is getting ridiculous. Um, Second half, I was definitely more impressed. But yeah, we just should have taken that game in the 90 minutes. You know what I mean? In my opinion. Obviously, after I just said about Sterling could have won it for them, he didn't, and we could have won with Salah having a bag of chances, at least 5 chances, I think, from what I can remember. Just not taking them. So it's frustrating. It definitely shows a lot of what we miss without having Mane. I don't want to make it seem like we're a one man team, but and speaking on one man team, it was like for the first half that we were like void of any kind of ideas. It was just like long ball to Salah or every ball go to Salah. There was nothing else really going on for me, and that was really frustrating. But when you go to penalties, you never know what can happen, and that's why we were in here screaming and just hoping that Liverpool could pull it out in the 90 minutes, and we should have. Matip coming on, it was good to see him get the goal. I thought Matip should have started. I thought Gomez was better at right back, if anything. I thought Trent was poor today overall, and Trent has these moments, and people bring up the conversation about him and Wan-Bissaka, and I think it depends on what you look for in the fullback. Wan-Bissaka clearly is leaps and bounds above Trent defensively. There were so many. I think one of the best things that happened for us today was Sane getting injured early. Did you hear what I said? One of the best things that happened to us was Leroy Sane, getting injured for them early, because this dude was giving Trent a field day out there. I mean, straight up. And that's the thing with Trent. Like, there's certain dudes that just get the better of him. And Sane always plays well against Liverpool. Always. Win, lose, or draw, Sane always plays well against Liverpool. So, but yeah, I think Gomez did much better than Trent did defensively. There were a couple of times where he was the reason why we kept them from another chance to make for themselves, because he recovered quickly, got back, made a defensive block, a defensive tackle, a knock away, a kick away, whatever. So yeah, in the first half, I just wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed with Fabinho today at all. He made a couple he made a couple plays there, here and there, but just wasn't that good. Henderson wasn't good at all. Genie just wasn't good. And, I don't want to beat up on Genie too much with the penalty shot, but when he stepped up, I knew he was going to miss that shot. Or get it blocked, miss it, whatever. Because Genie just never gives me a lot of confidence with shooting the ball in general. I know the Barcelona game, I get it. But let's be honest, that's kind of a one-off kind of situation for Genie. And again, I'm not trying to be harsh, but there's certain dudes you look them in their eyes, look at their face, and you think, eh. And it's just when you see him in games taking shots, it looks very just kind of tame and soft and like, eh. So, it's frustrating. It's definitely frustrating. But again, I'm pleased with the second half performance, and I liked that lineup that came up. Well, when we made those changes, the lineup looked pretty decent. I thought Naby was poor. He was poor. He was poor today when he came on. He had some little moments here and there, but he kept giving the ball away. But when he did the positive things going forward, we looked. I think with Shaq, him, Lalana, I forget who else came on. Ox. I think Ox should have come on a little bit earlier, but I'm proud of the team. Listen, it's frustrating to see us lose to this team again, no matter how it was, whether it's regular time or whatever. I thought for the longest time we would get a goal at some point. I didn't know if it would come from Matip from how it came, but I thought we'd get a goal. We had so many damn chances. Kyle Walker clears one off the line. The one that hits the rim of the top bar hits the line and go. I mean, listen, it is what it is. But to have Sterling score against us is I'm admitting now that hurts. I don't like that. And it had to be the charity shield. It had to be the charity community shield, whatever the hell it's called. So yeah, I mean, these teams don't like each other. You can see the back and forth between Bernardo Silva and Robertson and Robertson and Guardiola. Henderson came over to talk to Guardiola at one point while Guardiola and Klopp were going back and forth because Guardiola was doing a lot of crying today, a lot of whining to the refs, doing these kicking motions. There was a moment where I forget what player it was. It was a coming together of a Liverpool player and a City player, obviously, and Pep's doing all this kicking thing to kind of hint at, well, remember when Mane did this with the keep, So, it is what it is. I don't want to come off as sour at all. They deserve to get what they got because, they didn't miss any penalties. So they deserve to get it. I'm not going to come on here like Redman TV and say we were the better team or anything like that. Listen, sometimes the better team doesn't win. It comes down to getting the win. And however you got to get it, you got to get it. And, for me, I think in the second half we were the better team. Probably you could say that. But I don't think overall you can say it was a game of two halves, I think. And it was just it was a good match. It was a good match. A frustrating match as a Liverpool fan because, again, you get so many chances to take this game away. And again, I'm going to go back to Naby real quick. That point blank shot he took, again, you have to hammer that home. There's no time for this coach try to place it. You have to hit. This is Claudio Bravo. And all due respect for him, he's a professional goalkeeper. I'm sure he's a professional goalkeeper, so he's got some skills, right? But it's Claudio Bravo. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should have given him a bit more heat in that game. And, Naby had a chance to win it, didn't do it. So, yeah, again, no, I'm loving the nastiness between the two teams. I'm loving it. I'm loving how this rivalry is building. It just really sucks losing to City, especially when it's not a situation where they're just totally dominating us. Yes, they had moments, and the high line today that we played wasn't that effective. City are finding a way, or at least today they did, found a way to get in and around that very, very easily. Too much for my liking. I mean, my heart was just in all sorts of tatters today because usually where our high line is really good, it just didn't look that great. And again, in that first half, we just weren't good defensively. So as much as I say we could have won the game, we could have been losing by a fair margin at the halfway point because defensively we just weren't there. We just weren't there. And again, I'm going with Matip going forward for me. At that center back situation, I'm going with Matip. That's just my opinion. I love Gomez, and I think at some point that's when you see him in Van Dijk. Well, you saw him in Van Dijk the early part of last season. You thought, look, that's the going forward. That's got to be that's the duo. You got to put Matip in there for me. Not because he scored a goal. That didn't help it. I mean, that didn't hurt it. But even when he was on, and the other thing is, we were getting muscled way too much for my liking in this game. I mean, Sterling was muscling Gini off the ball and muscling Trent off the ball and Gomez. And I'm just thinking, but Matip came in the game. It was a moment we came up against Jesus. And I was thinking, this is the test. Are you going to let him body you, get past you? He stood up firm, got the foul call, went back the other way. Again, and I keep talking about this, Liverpool have got to be tougher in these certain situations. I don't like it. LaRucci getting kicked in preseason and no one really doing much about it. It's all well to come up and if you remember that preseason game, and I'm going off on a tangent here, I know. This is Liverpool versus everybody. What's up? There were fouls in that game, the preseason versus Sevilla, and real reckless situations that someone should have pulled one of them dudes. I'm just like, hey, look, this ain't gonna happen no more or something. You can't continue to allow teams to just muscle you off the pitch. So I mean that was really frustrating. But look, we knew if this game got the penalty shots, again anything could happen, and that's what is so irritating about the situation. Losing to them before in a cup competition 2 years ago, it was a Klopp's first season, whenever year that was. We were atrocious that day. Lana, Coutinho, and some other guys were there, but yeah, just losing the City. And to me, there'll be Liverpool fans that are saying, "Oh, I didn't really care anyway," and that's fine. I care. I care about Liverpool playing in competitive competitions, especially when there's something to win. So people who are saying they don't care, whatever, that's everybody's entitled to their own opinion. That's their prerogative, but it hurts like any other loss, but especially any other loss to City. So, look, wipe ourselves off, dust ourselves down, come back. We got a big game coming up Friday, and then it just gets even more difficult, man. The games are coming. Game against Chelsea, I think next week. I might have that wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. But we got a lot of games coming up, obviously, and I'm happy where we are, though. I'm happy where we are. I'm happy with the guys that came off the bench. They looked, for the most part, minus Naby, which is unfortunate because I was just talking to my brother Josh thinking that Naby would be one of the dudes that I was looking forward to seeing. Looked pretty good in the preseason, the one game he played. And I wanted to see a different thing about him this season, early. So I don't think it's anything against him. It's necessarily that Klopp is thinking like, okay. I just think he could have made some better decisions today, and that shot at goal was. I'm real on this channel, y'all know that the shot at goal was atrocious. Some of his passing and decision making was just atrocious. It really was, and so that's that. But yeah, we are on to Norwich now. We can't really think too much about this. It is what it is. We get the runners up, I guess, Community Shield trophy, necklace, whatever it is that you get. Cuff link, I don't know what they're giving out for runners up to Charity Shield, which a lot of people say we didn't deserve to be in there anyway, but you get in there, you get in there. So if I had to do a ratings, I think that first goal, when they slow it down, Alisson, look, it looks like he could have gotten to that. You know what I mean? It looks like Henderson could have gotten to Sterling to knock him off his shot. But again, that was just one of those examples of in that first half where they were just getting things too easily in the box, way too easily. I think the shootout against Zinchenko, got to stop that. My brother was in here celebrating as if he blocked it, but yeah, you got to stop that. So I think Alisson also came up big in a couple of moments, and you remembered how thankful you were to be a Liverpool fan and have him be our keeper. I think it'd be harsh to give him anything lower than a 7, but I'm gonna give him a 6.5. With that being said, Trent today 5. I mean, and that's just me being nice. I think Trent was awful today. Whether from corners or putting balls in the box or whatever, he was just awful today. Is what it is. Moving on. Gomez. I thought Gomez was okay. Like I said, I felt he was better when he went to a right back position. I'll give Gomez. I thought he was really good defensively. I'll give Gomez a 7. Mainly just remembering what I can remember from him playing the fullback. Center back, he was okay. Made some mistakes here and there, but that's to be expected. He has been really playing for a while. Obviously the preseason games, but against a team like City and what this meant. So I give him that. Van Dijk. Van Dijk was good. He was usual Van Dijk. He gets the assist. He had the shot that somehow didn't go across the line. I give Van Dijk a 9 today. I thought he was good. Clearing balls out. I think he could have gotten it. I'm gonna give Van Dijk an 8. I'm going to give Van Dijk an 8 because being the general of that defense, you got to see something better either between him or Ramses to not allow those things that were allowed in that first half. So I love Van Dijk. I'm going to give him an 8, not giving him a 9, sorry. Robertson, very ghost-like for me for most of the game. I loved his toughness. I loved his back and forth with Bernardo Silva. But honestly, I got to watch this game back at some point, although I don't want to right now. But I would say maybe a 7 for Robertson. I didn't see anything special about him. Fabinho, 5. Nothing about him. The less said, the better. Moving on, Henderson again 5. Just not a good game at all for me. Defensively, as a captain, this wasn't much. A lot of talking to the ref, a lot of talking to Guardiola, a lot of all that. But playing on the pitch, really sloppy, really unfortunate. And that other side of what people talk about with Hendo. Yes, he had a really great end of season last year, towards all those last few months and in big games and all that. And it's going to be a long season and it's cool. It's one game. I want to be too harsh on dudes, but I'm being real. And Hendo's a 5 at best. Genie, another poor game to me. 5 as well. I think the midfield in that first half was atrocious. In large parts of that second half. So the midfield to me was just probably, in my opinion, the weakest link of the team today. There was just nothing going on. So moving forward, Salah, I'm going to give Salah a 4. And again, being nice. Salah was a pile of shit today. And, unfollow me. Y'all know me. Unsubscribe. Whatever. I'm going to be real. He's a pile of shit today. He had a bag full of chances alone where he could have passed it or made a better shot. That chance where he had the header, put that in the net, bro. Head it harder. Do something. If that's a really good, it's a goal. It's a game winner. If it's Firmino, it's a game winner. Salah has got to be better with his decision making. To see that we only had one shot on target in the first half was a shock because he had at least 3 or 4 shots in that direction, but he didn't even make contact with the goalpost in a lot of those situations. 4. Atrocious today. Firmino, I'm giving it a 9. I think Firmino was the best player on the pitch, especially in that first half. Just incredible. All over the place, running up and back and forth. I mean, great. Origi, 6, and I'm probably being nice. I give Origi a 5 as well. Call it harsh, man, but today a lot of dudes just were under par. A lot of dudes were under par. I'm not going to really put too much time in giving the guys that came off the bench, although I thought collectively they were probably a 7 collectively. 7.5 at best collectively coming on, adding some forward movement spirit and things of that nature. So, again, it's just to round it off, man. I'm touching 18 minutes soon. I didn't really plan to be on this long, but I might even come on later just to talk more. But it's just it's another game to get us ready for the season. And I thought it really, really, if I sit back and just take my Liverpool fan out of the situation, I think for neutral fans, that was a pretty good advert. If people are just watching, for example, Premier League for the first time, or at least 2 Premier League teams for the first time in the competition, the 2 best teams in England, I should say. Pretty good game, and a game that went in the way that these games go between the 2 teams, and I love it. And again, the back and forth of Robertson and Silva, not Silva. God, why can't I think of his name right now? Bernardo Silva. I love it. Bernardo Silva's a nasty little motherfucker, and I mean it in the best way. He's a great player. Gets stuck in, cries a lot to the refs, and talks a lot as well. So, these games are always going to be great. I look forward to playing them twice in this season. I look, and maybe even in the Champions League. But I love the rivalry that this is brewing between the managers, between the fan bases, and obviously the players on the field. I love it, every bit of it, man. It's physical, it's tough, it's a dogfight, it's a slugfest, and that's what you want. So I'm gonna sign off now. I wouldn't get too carried away with the result. Yes, it's tough. I'm disappointed, but we move to the next one. Dust it off, and of the 7 trophies, we missed out on this one, so we got 6 more. See you guys soon.